What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the Playbook. Off the rip, happy holidays, early edition. Today, I'm going to teach you a technique or a skill set that you might not even know exists, and it can give you a competitive advantage, especially in the final third. As per usual, we start off in the arena, and I'm talking about a delayed touch, and you're going to take advantage of the dummy and the left analog stick as a collaboration, as a combination. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, please use the comments, like it, share it. I have not seen a video like this on the YouTube sphere. It's simple, but still advanced. Let me give you a showcase. When you're making an entry pass of any sort, you can, of course, dummy. You saw that animation? That's where you hold R1. We've all probably seen the dummy animation at some point, right? You give it to a player, you let it roll. And this is fantastic on through balls. If a defender's overplaying you, if you've got additional space to work with, you can let it roll and take advantage of this half second that you've created in terms of that spacing. However, if you now use R1, when you're receiving the pass, you have to be receiving. You hold R1 and move the left analog stick, you're able to tell your offensive player basically to not let it roll. But you have to do this all well-timed. And I have in-game examples. So you have an entry pass. See that touch that I just got there? But that's an advantage. I'm now already gauged or re-engaged into an attacking position. That's not just a normal first touch. I want to show you more. Quick passes inside. There. Do you see that? He was letting it run, and then I stepped back in. It's almost a cancellation of a dummy. So you're going to dummy, and then you can come and step into it, and it gives your player a little bit of a quicker and a crisper touch. Dummy. Oh, and that one I was a little too late on the final execution. If you are, you're just going to let the ball dummy. The pacing on the ball and the pacing of the pass, of course, matters, but there is a certain stickiness. It's a little bit cleaner, a little bit crisper when it comes down to letting it roll. Do you see that how he fakes it? And it'll shift the center back. It'll shift a holding mid. It'll shift somebody that's on you from a defensive scenario. Maybe this angle will did you see that? He let it roll and then it came back to him. I just want to show you what it looks like because it's a small detail, but it does make a big difference. You see what I'm talking about? I would describe this as a purposeful delayed touch. And boy, does it have a competitive advantage. It's all about timing. If you do this too early, you're just going to have a dummy. If you do this too late, your player is just going to receive the pass as per usual on a normal reception because it didn't register the dummy. So it's R1, you hold it, you let off left analog stick. 1-2, very quick motion. Real world examples, you need those. We've got Gravenberch, Ronaldo, he's checking into space. We've seen this story before. However, I probably put a little bit too much whippage here. I think I've almost gone with a driven pass, something in between. It's not light. So a dummy would have carried us way too far into space. This would be the situation. We went for a dummy. We'd be somewhere back here, but the ball would be beyond us, which is not helpful for anyone. That's not beneficial. So what we're going to do is as I'm receiving, I'm going to go for a dummy, and then I'm touching on that left analog stick just to let my player know there's going to be a cancellation. And what I like so much, do you see that? One more time. Look at the motion. Look at the animation. It's a different animation. Dummy, turn. And again, you might not know that this exists. You receive it, dummy, turn. See how he catches that? It's a secret skill. This is not going to be listed in any controls. There's no way to learn this without somebody showcasing how to do it. Or you watching gameplay, you have to understand two parts. And the extra touch or the cancellation of a dummy, I have not seen any sort of guidelines, game plans. If you go into controls, it will not showcase this. Last time. Inside. So now that we've turned, we're in a bread and butter type of scenario. I've received the pass. I'm already in a good place to make moves, and I'm in a position where I can go left or I can go right. And if you're into skills, which I am, you want to have options. And it also makes it where my opponent, he doesn't do a good job switching players. So now I'm going up against the AI. I'm going to attack that space. I'm going to take full advantage of the space that I've created and try to challenge. We're going to challenge through these gaps. And we do have gaps. Ronaldo, turn, run, bad defending, a little ball roll because why not? And then you have the finish. Finesse shot for the people. I'm going to just show you that in full speed. It happens quickly, but it makes a big difference, especially if you're playing at a high level. This might not apply to a beginner, but if you're an intermediate or an advanced player, these little intricacies make a big difference. Gravenberch feeds Ronaldo all in one motion. You think that might just be a normal first touch. It's not. And there you have the finish. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. We have more. Similar situation. Majri, we're going to be feeding the likes of Diani. On a side note, if you have not used her, she is good money. In this circumstance, I want to slow down a little bit of the pacing on the ball. There's a lot of space for us to work with, but I still want to have control. So I'm going to use the dummy, and then I'm catching the dummy, or I'm doing a real life cancellation or a delayed touch of that dummy, which just gives me a little bit more control. But we're still going to take advantage of the space that we're running into. Diani, there it is. And also the defender absolutely shook it. That's the idea. And I want to run that back again for you. So the reason we use this, that little hesitation of the dummy. See how the defender, he's shifting up. He thinks I'm going to turn this way. That little bit of dummy. And then we have that turn instead of letting the ball run. If I don't do this properly, then I would have to receive or retrieve the ball into this space. If I don't cancel out of the dummy, the ball's going into here. This is going to be where it ends up, which is fine, but it gives me less control, less options. I don't have as much maneuverability, and I want to be as dynamic as possible. I have to chase it down and then make something happen. Maybe some end line sweat. Diani gets it. Another big touch. Little ball roll, because we love a ball roll for the people. Then we walk it home. Unfortunately, not a great save. I think some goalkeeper movement, but we do get a rebound. One more time. And these examples, to understand and really grasp what's happening, I think you have to see the full example. And I'm not saying you won't understand it. It's just a small movement. It's a minor movement that makes a big deal. Masri again into Diani. There's that little delayed touch. And then we're able to turn, work it, ball roll it, reach, teach, and we get the conversion from Hemp on the rebound. I believe this is helpful, and I don't see it on the internet. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions, I'm here to work with you. The hardest part about this is recognizing when to use the dummy, because some of you might not be utilizing R1 at all. And then the second portion is the timing. But once you figured out number one and number two, you've got yourself with a new asset, and it's a new intangible that does make a big difference. It gives you additional versatility, and that's what we want. I'm here to provide choice, and I want good offense to beat that AI defending time and time again. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. Welcome to the Playbook. We appreciate you. Happy holidays. You will see a lot more content coming here, fresh to death, ASAP.